Hello, dear Heike. Who are you and what do you do professionally?
Well, I'm Heike Fischer. I am a general practitioner in Berlin with a health insurance authorization, covering the entire spectrum of general medicine.
Nice. And what excites you about the PSE?
It's efficient, gets to the point, it's fast, so the testing is quickly conducted and I don't necessarily need a lot of words and can help patients who don't like to talk so much.
Super. Maybe you've already answered part of the next question. What opportunities do you see in PSE and how does it differ from other methods?
Exactly, I don't need to have the patients in the practice all the time. Instead, I schedule a testing appointment and then assess how long they need to take the appropriate remedies. That's usually for about 3, 4, 5, or 6 months, and then I schedule them for a follow-up. It's also possible for people who come from further away and for patients who don't have much time. And they don't have to spend an hour at the psychotherapist's office every week, where you can't even get appointments anyway. And it's also really, as I mentioned earlier, super efficient because it gets straight to the point. We don't have to constantly ponder what we should or shouldn't do. It works on a subconscious level, and I don't have to constantly think about it at home when I'm taking it.
And how can you and have you already been able to help people with PSE? Do you have any specific examples?
I also work a lot with children, and child psychotherapy can be challenging because children can't reflect until a certain age or can't self-reflect. That's where it's particularly efficient because they just need to take these pellets or drops. What I have are children with ADHD who should be getting Ritalin or other corresponding medications. And when I treated them, and the teachers then called the parents, I know of 2 specific cases where they asked or said, "Oh, the child is finally getting Ritalin, that's nice, because now the child is functioning." But they didn't receive Ritalin, they only received PSE.
Exciting, that's a nice example.
Yes.
To what extent can PSE provide support in the event of trauma, for example from childhood or later life events such as deaths or separations? Do you have an example here as well?
Yes, there are many examples, because many people are traumatized and cannot process certain events. We have the opportunity to cut off these, I would say, the puppet threads into the past, so that they no longer influence our lives here and now. We can't undo the past, but we can make it possible to look at the traumas without investing energy and emotions that we then lack in the present. There are many examples of accidents, deaths, or severe childhood separation traumas that we were able to resolve. This feeling of inadequacy, this feeling of still having energy tied up in there.
You've talked a lot about the psychological aspect. Do you also use PSE on the somatic level, for physical symptoms and complaints?
Yes, good question, of course. It was just clear in my head now. Yes, a lot, especially in the case of complaints, where we can't make any progress, even with naturopathy. I do a lot of naturopathy in my practice, I forgot to say earlier, but where we don't make progress with all the functional therapies and where I know that it has an energetic cause. And I can treat this energetic cause of the physical complaints excellently with the PSE.
Great. And what opportunities do you see in PSE beyond your field of general medicine and naturopathy?
In essence, it's about restoring an energetic balance in the body so that the person as a whole can help themselves. And that's basically what I'm saying. So, it also helps with personal development, similar to coaching. And I know people who say they divide their personal lives into their life before PSE and their life after PSE because it has taken them to a higher, let's say, level of experience, no, level of living, that allows them to live their lives more easily. Everyone has to walk their own path, and it's about being able to walk it with a skip and a song, rather than collapsing or breaking down under the weight of the heavy backpack one has to carry. In that sense, PSE can definitely help every person when you break it down like that.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you very much, Heike.
Thank you.